Hi, this is Allison Richard, your stress management and self-care coach, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about what in Chinese medicine acupuncture system is called the fifth season. So currently it is the kind of middle of August is what we're getting into, and oftentimes this time from this like late summer, middle of August to fall equinox in kind of mid-end September is what's called the fifth season, because we get into this point of summer where it starts to become, there's just a shift. I don't know if you feel it where you happen to be when this happens. There's really a shift in kind of what's going on in nature. So after having a summer maybe of a lot of humidity, like different thunderstorms, rainstorms, the earth is just holding on to a lot of dampness. And so there's a lot of damp. The trees are starting to change. So you're noticing kind of maybe different pollens or allergens. I know my clients and I have both been experiencing a lot of kind of tension headaches and sinus headaches and pressure a lot in the last couple of weeks. And this season is also really associated with this idea of kind of release and letting go. So I wanted to do a really quick routine that works with your large intestine meridian to just help to kind of support that idea of release. So if you think about what your large intestine does for you physically, it is related to that idea of kind of releasing and letting things go. So that's also true kind of emotionally, energetically. And it can help with some of this kind of sinus pressure and just maybe anywhere you're feeling a little bit of tension. So we're going to start, the meridian kind of runs from, the one we're going to work with runs from the tip of your kind of pointer finger, kind of all the way up the arm, and towards the face. So we're going to work with some points along there. And so I just want you to start by taking your first two fingers, your first pointer fingers, and you're just going to tap them together for a moment. And I don't know why I always love tapping my fingers together. It makes me feel like a small child. So I find it very fun. So just tapping them together just to help with that idea of kind of that almost like fully releasing off the tips of your fingers. And then you're going to take that first finger and thumb of one hand, and you're basically going to find that connection point of your thumb to first finger on the other hand, that little kind of fleshy pad in between. And you can either just kind of squeeze it or maybe massage a little bit. And if it's tender, usually if you massage, it helps. Sometimes they can get tight from all of the kind of phone time that we spend or typing. But this is also really helpful, again, with that idea of the kind of tension headaches or sinus pressure. And then just allow yourself to switch, go to the other side for a moment. And you might, again, notice one side's tighter than the other, especially if it's kind of the more dominant side that you use more. Good, take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Good, and then you're just gonna go up your forearm. So if you turn your palm to face up, you're gonna go on the thumb side of your hand, basically, to this kind of outer arm part. So it's not right below your elbow, it's almost like a little bit further down. And just, again, kind of massaging there along that line of the outer arm, that thumb side. Taking a deep breath in. And then exhaling. And then just switch arms when you're ready. So same thing on the other side. And again, you can always just notice if one side feels a little more tender or maybe it's a little bit tighter. Good. And then you're gonna work your way up for a moment towards your shoulder. So if you were to kind of rest your hands on your shoulders, kind of feel where your fingertips rest on the back. So it's almost like that very inner edge of the top of your kind of shoulder blade. And so you can just take your fingers and kind of massage that inner edge for a moment. So you're just kind of stimulating those points there for a second. And again, if you think about the idea of that kind of releasing, letting go, really the opposite of that, or the place that we tend to get stuck when it comes to releasing and letting go, is often those places where we want to control. So they're very, very connected. So for a moment, you're going to pause there and then just take your fingers to the sides of your ribs and tap there. So kind of the bottom of the ribs at the sides, and you just want to tap there. These are your spleen points. And these points actually help with just kind of having trust and faith in the process, which can be really helpful when you're having some of that fear or desire to control. So just take a deep breath in and then exhale. Good. And then you're going to take your hands, you're going to cross your hands over to the opposite shoulder. So you're still resting your hands on those points that you were massaging just a moment ago. And then as you do, just kind of let the hands weigh your shoulders down a little bit. And then if you want, you can do eyes opened or closed. Sometimes it helps to close the eyes. I just want you to take a breath in. Open your mouth, sigh that breath out. And just see if you can kind of use the weight of your hands to just start to let the shoulders drop. So maybe starting to be able to release any of that tension you're holding in the shoulders. Just keep breathing. Seeing if you can just keep softening. And just being patient with it. So even if you don't physically feel anything softening, just taking that moment to kind of support these points and allowing yourself just to relax. Go ahead and take one more inhale. Sigh that breath out, exhale. And then you can go ahead and uncross for a moment. Just kind of roll your shoulders out for a second. Good. And then you can take your hands back onto your shoulders where you started. So same hand to same shoulder. You're going to keep your hands really light on your shoulders. As you kind of inhale, lift the elbows up, kind of slide the fingers back. And then as you exhale, you can push down a little bit harder as you kind of pull the fingers forward towards your collarbones. You're just going to do that a couple times. So inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, pull forward. So if there's any kind of fluid that's in the neck or the shoulders, you're just moving that fluid forward towards the collarbones, the top of the collarbones where you have lymph glands that drain that. So just do that one more time. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, pull forward. Good. Relax your arms for a moment. Just kind of shrug your shoulders, shake them out. Good. And then lastly, you're going to take your fingertips. So I like to use first finger and middle finger up to your middle fingers are going to go kind of between the bottom of your nose and your top lip. And then the pointer fingers are going to go right to the sides of the outside of your nose. So that kind of widest part at the bottom of your nose. And then you can either just sit here and kind of put pressure on them, or I like to tap. So again, these are really helpful with kind of that sinusy congestion or tension that you might be feeling. Just taking a deep breath in. Again, exhale it through the mouth, let it go. Good. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale it out. Good. Relax your hands down. Just go ahead and take your head, gently roll circles 3 times in one direction. And then just reverse it, go 3 times in the other direction. Good. And then just coming back to center, squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just let them drop. Good. One more time, deep breath in. Exhaling, let it go. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me for today. I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed, released. And please feel free to follow. Let me know how this goes for you. And I will see you in the next one.